What's up, guys? Your brother Omar, really quick. Sorry, I haven't been able to make a YouTube, Facebook live video. I've been blocked on Facebook. According to Facebook, I got like 21 hours left. So before I can be able to use my going live, Facebook's live feature, it's been days for a long time. So that should have been up. For some reason though, Facebook just ironically registered now that because since I tried to use my Facebook feature when it was past my time of being banned from not using live, it just decided to register like, yeah, by the way, you got 21 hours left, when it should have been that stuff should have been done days ago. But hey, I don't want to go there, right? I don't want to go there. A lot of our relevant, famous YouTubers out there, whether it's music, whether it's just controversy, whether it's conspiracy, whether it's news, whatever, they have always, in some way, shape, or form, faced either Facebook jail time, where they get blocked or banned or whatever, or they have been got warnings from the policies, community standards from YouTube or whatever, vice versa, So with that said, I'm just, explaining, letting y'all know what happened and why the situation is the way it is at the day that we are right now, right? Today I'm just, I decided to do a little blog. I'll post it and put it up on Facebook and YouTube later. Unfortunately, like I said, I can't do a Facebook Live, but you know what? That's for the better of it anyways, because I've noticed that on YouTube, my social media platform is taking more of a run. It's taking more of a rise compared to in Facebook, because in Facebook, though, supposedly I got thousands of friends and whatnot, it's showing like it's not being viewed, it's not being liked or whatever. So it's like putting me at a consideration of, should I continue on this page or should I take things to another social media platform where my content will take rise, will take notice, will take views, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just talking to a social media wall, and you're putting things on a wall, but who sees this wall? Nobody, except those elites that want to know your religion, your beliefs, what you like, and stuff like that. That's it. Is that really what Facebook is alive? Is that really what Facebook is about? So that the big tech knows who you are, what you like, where you go, your religion, your belief, your views, your political stand? Is that what it is for? I thought it was to reach out to other people, to connect with other people, to make friends with other people, to make groups and make friends within these groups so that you can have some kind of brotherhood going on instead of just being alone, disconnected. But it seems that with this movement of censoring, right, because it doesn't go with the agenda, it seems like the disconnect is more than the connection, right? Because people end up, quote unquote, quotation marks, connecting with themselves, but then when they go to social media, they express themselves and or their behaviors, and then for some reason they get blocked. Argument happens, envy, jealousy, insecurity, whatever, right? Gossip. And then after that, guess what happens? There's a block, there's a ban. That person that supposedly is your friend is not your friend anymore. It's a backstabber, it's your enemy, right? And it seems like that's the formula that is being planted in America. Gossip, backstab, and betray, which will be the last card on that deck, right? Like Judas did to Jesus, right? like the brothers of Joseph did to Joseph when they sold him to the Egyptian. Betrayal by your own blood, betrayal by your own people, betrayed because of jealousy, because of insecurity, because of hate, because of gossip. Just like the Pharisees, when they started seeing Jesus perform miracles, they started creating their clique of jealousy, of gossip, of hate, of envy. And it seems like that's the formula that they're trying to plant in America, so that our brothers fight against each other, amongst each other, over those effects: hate, envy, jealousy, insecurity, and just pitiful reasons to defend that. Right? Acting communists against each other. That's what they want. It is written in the Bible. It is prophetic. It's going to happen. I can't stop it. But guess what? I can advise my brothers and sisters so they're not blinded to this formula. So that when we look at each other, we look at each other with a little more love. So when we look at each other, we look at each other with a little more patience. So when we look at each other, we look at each other with a little more compromise. So when we look at each other, we look at each other with a little more tolerance. Right? Because that's what made America great to begin with. Everybody being tolerant with each other, making it, getting the job done, getting that money, going home, getting the bills paid, spending time with your family, quality time. That quality time that you want with yourself or whatever, so you can feel satisfied and go back to work, do it all over again. Right? Now let me go to today's tips on saving money. Today's tips are 2 big tips to save money on your electric bill. One of the tips, which is the easiest tips of all, is turning off your water heater whenever you don't use it, right? So when you're at home, you open your electrical panel box, look at the water heater, turn it off. 20 minutes before you go use the shower, turn it on. When you don't use it no more, turn it back off. You're going to save electricity from that, because during that time, let's say you're at work, 8 hours you're at work. That water heater is trying to keep that water at that desired temperature of heat while you're at work. So it's spending electricity to keep that water warm those 8 hours while you're at work. And in those 8 hours while you were at work, that you did not need to use that water heater is taking electricity from your electric and making your electrical bill rise higher. So there you go, brothers, my sisters. There you go. A tip and a trick on how to save money. You're welcome. Thank you for my service, of course. Now, tip number 2. Tip number 2 is the best one there is, and it's going to have the most impact because you need to keep this on no matter what, right? So this tip is a little hard, but if you can do it, you will save a lot of money on your electric bill. This tip number 2 is this. Your refrigerator, whenever it's winter time, take it outside. Whenever it's summertime, take it inside. And that's it. Those are the 2 tips of the day where it will save you money on your electric bill. Those 2 big things that are taking a toll on your electric bill. You're welcome, guys. Now, let's go on to the next thing. And before we go to the next thing, let me say it one more time. Turn off your water heater from your electrical panel board. Turn it off. And just turn it on whenever you want to use it. Boom, there you go. And your refrigerator, in winter time, take it outside. So that way, if you got the heat inside the house, the refrigerator is fighting against the heat from the inside the house, so it can keep the refrigerator cool. But if you take it outside during winter time, your refrigerator has to work less because it's in the desired temperature to keep your food frozen and refrigerated, right? Now, when it's summertime, you know the heat is incredible and hard and real high. So put that thing back inside the house, because more than likely you got your AC on. So it's going to be easier for your refrigerator to keep the food refrigerated and the frozen meat froze, right? So with that said, I think that those two tips have been planted in your mind and fossilized so that you can try to apply it and you can see the savings on your bills. Now, with that said, let's go to the next subject. This subject is, for some people, it's not worth mentioning, right? Because they got this pine bark mentality. They got this, their character is rough like the tree bark. You know what I'm saying? And they don't care. But there are other people, because of the molding of society, it affects their judgment, their way of thinking, their way of processing things, right? So with each generation, sometimes there has to be a different approach so that you can get the same result. With that said, now I can start to develop this subject. This subject is a little touchy for some people. Other people would not care. And I can understand. But some people do care for people that are hurt from cancer. Some people do care from people that are hurt from AIDS. Some people do care from people that are hurt from diabetes, and so on. And we got this category also. Some people do care for people who have PTSD. PTSD can be developed in different ways. It doesn't always have to be from the military. You can come from a house where it was very abusive. Your dad used to beat you up, beat you with the leather belt, or your mom, or it was very verbally abusive and stuff. So it affects your mind as a child to go through that kind of trauma. Therefore, you could have PTSD even before you would even join the military if you was. Not everybody joins the military. With that said, I must compromise and think of ways of people that they can get PTSD without joining the military, which would be household abuse, either verbal or physical. PTSD is a real threat. People have considered themselves to commit suicide, and this subject must be spoken of. We must be tolerant, compromise, and be understanding. When we see another member or another person that claims to be a member of the military, like vets like us, we must have patience, tolerance, and understanding, because we do not know why that person looks military, yet he might not look military. We don't know why that person might claim to be military, but he looks like it's a stolen valor. You know what I'm saying? We must compromise, be understanding, and be tolerant. Because PTSD is a real threat. And we cannot be so self-centered, so selfish, and so communist to come up to somebody and want to chew them out because you think they're doing stolen value. I noticed a few videos on YouTube of people trying to do that. One day somebody tried to pull that shit off on me, and it wasn't a good day for them. Right? Actually, a couple of times. And I seen it. I even sensed it. I even smelled it. So I gave them the military lash out. And I came at them before they even asked me the questions. Well, oh yeah? What branch was you from? Because I see you posting like a lion, ready to come at me with all them questions. What branch were you from? Yeah? Okay. What unit did you serve on? Okay. Where was you stationed? Okay. Where was you deployed to? Okay. How many tours did you did? Okay. Did you get an honorable discharge? Okay. How you get discharged? Okay. I got you, baby. Before you even come at me with those questions, I got you first, right? And then once you identify who you are, then I can be like, okay, is this guy worthy of my time or not? What did you do in the military? Coming at me with that attitude, trying to act like some communist bastard, thinking I'm doing some stolen valor. You don't know who the I am? Let me know who you are. You want to know me? Okay, let me know who you are, baby. And then we'll keep talking. Then I'll give you a best time story you'll never forget, right? Tolerance. Knowing that there's PTSD, compromise. Knowing that there's a rate on veterans who have committed suicide, understanding. Once you got those qualities, I don't care what you do, man. But I seen vets out there that are like vipers. I seen some vets out there that are like snakes, that are like rattlesnakes. And some of these guys, unfortunately, are the ones causing the suicides from some of these vets. Whether they're privates from E1 to E4. Sergeants, specialists, whatever. Right? Because there's like, it's like a goat seeking another goat to get some confrontation, because there were hell races at one point. 12 Bravos, you know, you got artillery, you know, you got a lot of different devils out there. So that's why I bring the word tolerance, right? Understanding. Compromise. The world don't revolve around you. You decided to serve your country. You decided to sacrifice. You decided all that when you took an oath to the Constitution of the United States of America to protect it against foreign and domestic terrorists. So why you becoming a domestic terrorist with that kind of attitude? A domestic terrorist that is left alone. An attitude of a domestic terrorist that becomes a virus and it spreads. So you got now different assholes who are causing these suicides from either privates or sergeants that might have left for whatever medical reasons or whatever. Right? And here comes the assholes from 20 years, 30 years in the military, 15 years, you know, above 10 years in the military, and here comes, you know, just to ruin the parade. Oh, you think you were military just like me, guy? Look at you. Look at you. You still look tender, like a baby chick. Hey, guy. Hey, come here for a second. What branch are you from? What are you doing, guy? Instead of being, hey, man, thank you for your service. Well, what branch did you serve? You know, it's the way you come at that person that plants if it's a seed for good or if it's a seed for tearing it up. Talk about Jesus, talk about this, talk about religion, talk about faith, talk about your country. But when you act this way, You're a Pharisee. You're going against what you preach, what you teach. You're a hypocrite. Come on now. Some might be a thief, some might be a liar, but guess what? You're a hypocrite, a gossiper, a hater with envy and jealousy. That kind of attitude also destroys our nation. That kind of attitude also spreads out like a virus and weakens us instead of strengthening us and uniting us in these last days that we live on. That's what we need. Somebody that pulls us together, that holds us together like the 300. Together we die then, instead of separated and lost in despair. I'm not here with a voice to show off or try to be better, or ain't nobody who is trying to be a somebody. No, I am a man, a creation of God, and dying like that is all I need to be. I'm happy like that. Stay true to myself. That's how I am. A United States Army vet who always wanted to be a Marine. That's who I am. That's who I am. I am a fanatic of the Marines, even though I'm an Army vet. You love Jeeps? You're a fan of the Patriots? Good. Well, my team, my football team, is the Marines, baby. That's it. That's it. I don't need no haters. I don't need no gossipers. I don't need people with envy because I don't decide to rock my football team the way you do. Your balls might be made of leather and fiber. My balls are made of metal and lead with gunpowder, baby. That's my football team. Ahura! I'm gonna get a Marine flag and I'm gonna rock it around here because that's my team. And I'm a fan of that to the day I die. Right? An Army vet who died has a Marine fan. So I'm gonna have the Army flag on my grave and the Marine flag on my grave too. That's my reason why. I don't need to serve the Marines so that I can rock Marines. I'm not you. I don't live life under your standards, guy. I live my life under my standards. I am my God. I create my reality, not you. Not your hate, not your envy, not your gossips. I am my own God. I create my own reality. I live life how I want. I dress how I want. I rock and represent whoever I want. Ahura! To me, that is a real man. That is a real Marine. To me, that is a bold and free man. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need no acceptance to be friends with Marines or acceptance or to be friends with other civilians. I know who I am. I stay true to myself. This is myself, whether you like it or not. Your gossip, your envy, your jealousy, your insecurity is not going to change who I am, the way I dress, the way I talk, the way I walk, the way I run, the way I express myself. Nothing. Since teenager, I've been wearing camo. I'll die wearing camo. Since I was a teenager, since before joining the military, I always looked up to the Marines. I always wanted to be like a Marine. When I was training, in my mind, I was training to be a Marine. So I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what records or papers say about me. I know how I feel inside my soul, and that's who I am. Whether you like my answer, I don't care. Fuck you. Suck my dick. And that's it. Now that I'm done venting and I'm already throwing a lake of fire and sulfur to the feelings of them snowflakes out there, now I can go to the next subject. I have noticed a removing of history within America. They're taking down the statue of Christopher Columbus because of Democrats, Black Lives Matter movements, and different things going on. I wouldn't doubt it. Sooner or later, they're going to try to hit Florida and take out different monuments that stand for the Confederacy or the Republic. Because that's what they're doing. They're slowly changing it. Through government and policies, they still want to rock the flag and claim that they're America, but they're not. They don't stand for the same values and morals that our founding fathers created America under. They're now international globalists, sellouts to corporations. That's why Biden is sending so much money to Ukraine. Yet we have Americans here dying from suicide because they're homeless. We have veterans that served in our military, yet Marines are standing there sharper than a knife when Biden is coming out. Like, dude, I should robotically slap you like a Marine so that you can feel truth, baby. You dare stand there erected, tall and proud next to a treasonist claiming to be a president? You're not a Marine. You're just dressing to be like one. Because you went to certain movements and trainings or certain days and you did certain movements and certain person claims to be this and this certain things. Now you think you're a Marine? No, bro. You know what you're being? You're being an accomplice to a criminal. So that's making you a criminal. So now, instead of me looking at the military like they're people that stand for freedom, now I see them like they're mercenaries fighting for the agenda of global elites. No wonder the recruiting rates are low, because people are waking up. Thank you, Tom McDonald from Canada, rapping singer who's becoming famous like no tomorrow. Thank you, Tom McDonald. What's my name? Tom McDonald. Thank you, Tom McDonald, for waking people up and seeing what is going on with the news and the brainwashing, right? How can a generation from being violently rapping and all this other stuff like Eminem and Slim Shady was like talking about murder his mom to now taking out guns? And how did that happen? A shift like all of a sudden in one generation. To now being cancel culture and Slim Shady being like, oh no, I used to say FAGGOTS, but now I just say gay, you know, because the system says that you got to be tolerant and all this other stuff. Oh yeah, the system wants to change itself to be tolerant and understanding and all this other stuff to people who are like that, but they're not being like that towards people that are in the military like that. Whether it's a private to a sergeant to somebody who's been there from a year to 20 years, they're not being like that to them though. So you're calling evil good and you're calling good evil. That's my feelings lately. That's just my blog right now. Has it been, I don't know, so far. I haven't posted nothing in a while. You know, I've been watching, seeing, looking, researching, and studying the scenario of the situation, leaving me with the conclusion that no, I don't really want to go to war, you know, to fight it against Russia or to defend Ukraine or none of that shit. Other people, let them do it. I ain't, because I already know what's going on there. And their final agenda is to spread the borders of Europe further into the borders of Russia. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. That's facts right there. You know, from Ukraine to now involving other areas, Crimea, Brussels or whatever it was that I was talking about, our 82nd Airborne being in there without us even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Belarus. Yes, that's the name. Belarus. How the hell did from Ukraine we ended up in Belarus? Crimea. Moldova. How? All these areas are areas that are ethnically people that are assimilated to the Russian culture. So essentially we're there cleaning up the land from the, what do you call it, the ethnic people. So we're doing ethnic cleansing so that NATO can spread their borders out there more. Poland can get more land, Germany can get more land, who knows who else, you know, because if NATO is going to absorb Ukraine into their, under their their wings, then Russia is going to be like, okay, the only thing I got left is China, but China, is it really with me? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And this game that they're playing on oil, because they're trying to like eliminate people from using gas. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to go all green in a matter of 10 to 20, 30 years. That's insane. So people that we're buying petroleum from, it's just going to be a cold turkey cut. So Russia is definitely going to sink after that, when, you know, it's not in need of petrol no more. You know, just something to think about, man. Just something to think about. Do I agree with this war in Russia? Well, let me just tell you. We've sent so much money to Ukraine, it's not even funny. Let me just start with that. All this bullshit about the pandemic, all this bullshit about the virus, all this, it never left, man. It never left. They're making you feel like it's normal. People can walk around with no mask. You still see a stupid person here and there with a mask on, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, did it really left? No, because they still got the face shields at the register. They still got that shit there. They just got the sanitizers. They're still out there. All this stuff is still out there. So it's like it never left. So people are still with this impact of, oh yeah, this bullshit with the virus. And then on top of that, wherever you go, wherever you look at, it's like the promotion of the vaccine. You can get it even for free. You know? Think about this. A vaccine. What vaccine is this? This vaccine is because of a problem. What problem is this? Well, according to the story, the problem started because of a virus in China. Do you think you want to get something in your body has a solution from a problem that came from China? Think about that. Let that marinate. Let that sink for a moment. Do you really want a solution from a problem that started from China? China, the competition of America. Have we had wars against each other? Look up in your history. All those wars that was never mentioned. I don't got time to mention all these wars against China in different places where we tested our forces and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now we just testing all around us, like in different places. That's why you see different wars. You know, Japan, North Korea, South Korea. South Korea became ours. North Korea became theirs. You know, different things like that. I'm telling you, life is more complicated than what you think it is. You think just politics at home here and that's it? No. We are all connected now at a global scale, whether you want to admit it or not. Because why? Because our politics are not playing already. They're not being nationalists anymore. They're internationalists now. And they're in this global agenda games. And this global agenda games, at the end of the day, is dealing with the dragon. Now that's a way deeper subject right there. Because when we talk about the dragon, what nation on the planet has never been conquered? China. Think about that in history. Roman times, the Egyptian times, the Babylonian times, the times of the Greeks, right? The times of the monarchies during Europe with kings and queens and councils, right? The wars against the Muslims, the Ottoman Empire, the rise of the gladiators and all that stuff, man. Think about that. Meanwhile, who was untouchable? Who kept their history going, even if it's at a political level? China, bro. China has never been conquered. China has always been there untouched. Why? They have a protection. They have a protection from who? In the Bible, Satan is also called the what? The dragon. Now, when we come and look at China, what beast do they worship? The dragon, bro. And because they pay homage to the dragon, that's why their civilization has been left untouched all these years. Throughout centuries. Throughout thousands of years, bro. So there's something at a political level that China knows. They're keeping a secret. And it's a pact with Satan himself, bro. The dragon, the serpent. That's why the dragon looks like a snake. Ironically, now the economy is turning towards China. When we look at things, where is it made? It's made in China. It's not ironic when you think about it when it's the last days and it doesn't say made in the USA. Peace out, guys. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all later.